Hey, what's up, people? Devontae back in the house. Word up. Let's talk about it, man. Gonna do a little deep diving into some of the interviews from the Sparta Ajax game, before the game and after the game, and some like stuff that's been said. Right, we all know by now, Ajax drew the game 3-3 after being down 3-1 to Sparta. Match action. Go check it out. Dropped yesterday. But let's start with the captain himself, man. Let's start with the captain himself, Davy Klaassen, man, the man with the failed hair transplant, man. Like, he's supposed to be looking like Captain Planet, man, but you're looking more like Captain Morgan, right, with his drunk ass. Like, like he has something to say about, right, that we all want stability in the group, but we also have a lot of injuries. Like it's to practice on stability and all that stuff. Like we need a group that's constantly available. That's not the case now. So, like, I'm not hearing that. Sorry, I'm not hearing that. Last season we had injuries as well, right? But the reason why we still were like there was a lot of stability in that group is because of Fadioli and the way that he had a plan, he had a tactic, he had a style of playing that was perfectly suited for what we had last season, right? So of course, when you bring in a manager that has no idea how he wants to play, how he wants to set up, what he wants to do, then you get this. So you can train on whatever stability all you want, but if you have a manager who doesn't know how to stabilize his team, how to set his team up very well, then you can practice whatever you want, but you're going nowhere. And then basically also said something about that the Ajax board should not fire Heitinga off of what people outside the club are saying. So meaning like the fans or whatever it is. And to me, that sounds like a crock of shit coming from Captain Morgan. What do you mean Heitinga should the Ajax board should not fire Heitinga because of what has been said, what people outside the team are saying? Like, but are you as blind as Stevie Wonder? But at this point, even Stevie Wonder could do a better job as an Ajax manager. We talk about the guy that made songs in the key of life and Inner Visions, right? What did Heitinga make? Nothing. Right, exactly. Like, let's move on from Captain Morgan, Davy Klaassen with his failed hair transplant. You need to do that, redo that fucking hair, bro. Or just go bald. You know what I'm saying? What else? Oh yeah, Heitinga, right? Before the game, and I spoke about this last week. Like, he was talking about that people were like rude. Now people can't critique him, but his kids are reading all this stuff, and I'm just like, if you so sensitive, bro, don't be a fucking manager at all. Don't be a manager. If you cannot take the heat, and I said my shit about Mick Jong-un, but Mick Jong-un, even though he's sensitive, he still like goes with the flow. He's still standing. End of the day, this guy folding hard, man. This guy folding, man. Talk about I accept critique, but it also comes towards my family. But let's be clear though. Doesn't mean that you can't like send threats to his family and all that stuff. No, of course not. That's not football. But for the most part, and for what I've been seeing for ever since he got appointed, right, until this day, there's only been fair criticism. No crazy stuff. Of course, people go to like they're starting to hate this guy and all stuff. I get that, but they still can't evaluate and break down why they don't want this manager and why they don't like this manager. Like me, for example, I just don't see this guy as a great manager. He's not. He's just not, man. The way we're playing is not good enough. The way he's setting us up is not good enough. He himself is just not good enough. This is not the standard that I should uphold. at all. And if you cannot take the heat, then get your ass out the kitchen. You know. So moving on from what Heitinga said, right? Let's go to my OG, Henk ten Kate, man. Sranang man, OG, was the assistant coach for Barcelona when they had Ronaldinho and Eto'o, right? Along with Frank Rijkaard, right? That was the manager, of course, at that time. Frank Rijkaard, also my OG, Sranang man, right? And he also was a manager for Ajax one season, where he actually played good football. But unfortunately, we ended second on the last day of the season because we just came up too short in terms of goal difference with Pagan FC. Yeah, PSV, Pagan FC, yeah. And it was this morning on a show called Goedemorgen Eredivisie, which is on Dutch ESPN. Where he gave his 2 cents about what he thinks about how he feels about the way that people are coming for Johnny Heitinga. He said he don't like it. He thinks it's quite embarrassing. This has been something that's been going on for weeks. And he's like, he don't agree with it because the guy just started. I'm sorry. I respect the hell out of Henk ten Kate. I rate him a lot, but I don't agree with that. If you look at Leverkusen, right, and Ten Hag only got sacked after 2 games. If you look at West Ham, shout out to my dude Mike as well. If you look at West Ham, Graham Potter just got fired like this week, and he also just started. I don't hear anybody say, "Oh yeah, he just started. They just started. They didn't need any time." No, if it's not going anywhere, fire him. Especially at a club like Ajax, the standard is high. The prestige that this club has is a lot. Why are we upholding such a standard that belongs to like clubs that are mid-table or fighting relegation? That should not be Ajax, bro. You see it's not going anywhere. You see the players are not happy. You see that the fans had enough. It won't be too long before they start fucking up the arena again. Just like with Stain. That's what happens when you don't listen to the fans. That's the reaction that you're going to have. That fans are going to bum rush the fucking arena again. Do we want that? Absolutely not. So do something about it. Everybody could have seen this coming from a mile away. Yeah, but this guy deserves a second chance. Why? He has proven nothing to deserve a second chance at this club as a manager when his first period was also not successful. So, with that being said, ten Kate, no, I'm sorry. I do not agree. If that's your opinion, that's fine. But look at the bigger picture. Just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like we're striving to play some sort of Ajax football, but it's not looking like Ajax football. Even though you're gonna say, oh yeah, but in the Eredivisie we're undefeated. The level of the Eredivisie this season is not good. I'm sorry, if you saw PSV play, right? Even though they won yesterday, when they played against us, you can see PSV is also not as good as last season. Feyenoord are probably the most consistent ones in terms of like how they play. But even Feyenoord is not that good. And do you know how you can tell it? In Europe. In Europe, we are a laughingstock right now. The only team that's won in Europe right now is Go Ahead Eagles. Meanwhile, Feyenoord, PSV, and Ajax all lost in Europe. And even though you can say, oh yeah, but PSV, I'm sorry, they drew against Leverkusen. But even then, they should beat a team like Leverkusen because Leverkusen also not that great. But Ajax, they shouldn't like lose to Marseille 4-0. They shouldn't even lose to Inter 2-0. And Feyenoord should beat teams like Braga and Aston Villa, or at least draw against Aston Villa. That's what it is. And let me even talk about Ajax, because Ajax is embarrassing. But that's what I mean. It's embarrassing. And then somebody said on that show like name drop Francesco Fanioli, and then thank God to say that, oh yeah, that's typical opportunism. Because as a guy that loves football, I was irritated by the way Fadioli played last season and all this stuff. And I hear it, but at the same time, I don't. Because, yes, I said my stuff about Fadioli, right? And the way that we were playing specifically by the end of the season, where we were trying to hold on to the first spot, right? So we can win the league. Fadioli, and I said it actually before I ever made a channel. I could see what he's doing. I could see, like, with the way that we're playing is necessary. Is necessary because we came from far. We've been in the trenches. So for the way that we're playing right now, with like more defensive and all that stuff, it's necessary, and I could see why. But by second season, when we get better plays, I wanted him to play a more attacking approach. But there were games under Fadioli where we actually played attacking. We were playing great, and we were bopping teams, especially the first half of the season. But in the second half, even though it wasn't like that, there were games like let's say Feyenoord and PSV, where we were just putting up masterclasses in terms of like a strategic approach, dominating the game in terms of like nullifying the opponent. That's what Ajax did. Yes, after that it was of course a shit show, but I feel like a lot of people, and I've seen this a whole lot, doing this revisionism, because let's remember, Fadioli didn't have a lot of pressure until we were favorites to win the title. That's when the pressure started to come in, and that's when everybody fumbled. The cookie started to crumble then. But before that, everybody had a realistic vision of that. Okay, we're gonna fight for third and second place. Even I, and you can go check my earlier videos. I knew that second or third should be possible, and maybe win a Kafa Bank about it on the side. That didn't happen, unfortunately. But I was realistic until we were first. And of course, when you're on top, you want to stay on top and win the title. That didn't happen. That's why I was mostly angry about, because I feel like you should have played better against NEC and all those teams. So I'm not hearing all this revisionism. I'm sorry, gente cara. Let's move on to the next guy that has something to say. Man like Triple H, of course, Psycho Sid Valvejos, man, the guy that thinks he's the game. I'm the game. Are you ready? I mean, Valvejos, man, thinking he's down with D-Generation X. So they were asking him about the criticism of Johnny Heitinga and said, some reporter asked him like, if the players are not really like that the players are not really like listen, because I'm translating that. So let's take it down. So saying the players saying that it's not because of Shoni Heitinga, but that they're not really like what is it looking like for the last few weeks. And then he said, oh yeah, you saying it's not the trainer, but at the end of the day, the manager is responsible for it. But I do think that it's our trainer, my trainer, that he gets a lot of shit over his head. You know what I'm saying? And I do think something about that. Of course, there's like a lot of expectation, but sometimes how we get into this, how we act in this country, like have some sort of witch hunt. I see him in the locker room, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, man, I'm not. So it's looking like Heitinga from what I'm getting from what Weghorst is saying, is looking like Ruben Amorim at United, defeated. Remember Ruben Amorim? Like, I think it was against Brentford where he was just like defeated. Heitinga's defeated. But then if you're not built for it, then fuck off. And for Wout Weghorst and David Klaassen to not call it for what it is, man. Of course, I'm not saying that they should throw him under the bus, because of course it's their manager. So I get like players always like trying to stick up for their manager. But Wout Weghorst and David Klaassen, we all know those guys are not going to take responsibility. We all know those guys want to stay in good graces because they gain their starting spots. If it was somebody else, they would not get their starting spots. So they would have like sabotaged him already. They would have if it was Fadioli, they would have sabotaged him already, or somebody else. But David Klaassen and Wout Weghorst, because they're not going to do that with Heitinga. Give me a break, man. You two, man, looking like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, man. Let's get rid of the second. Fuck out of here, man. No, fuck out of here with your wrestling ass, man, and Davey Klaassen with his failed hair transplant, man. I'm not hearing that. I'm sorry, bro. Like, so even though you say it's a Dutch thing that, oh yeah, we're having this whole witch hunt, it's also a Dutch thing to stick to something that we have invented 50, 60 years ago or something, and it hasn't worked in this day and age of football. It's also something Dutch, right? Specifically Ajax, right? To stick to, stick to what you know, even though sticking to what you know hasn't brought us anything so far for 3 years. Right? This whole Ajax DNA shit, this whole, oh, he has to know the club, oh, he has to play attacking football, and this and that. You can play attacking football all you want. If you don't have the know-how, right? If you don't have no strategy. Never mind, man. I'm fucking up, man. It's early, by the way, but that's no excuse. But nevertheless, like if you have no tactic whatsoever, if you don't have an idea of how you want to play, and if you don't have the players for it, last but not least, if you don't have the players for it, because we still have the same bunch with 5, 6 new players, we still have the same bunch, right, that Fadioli said, I cannot play attacking football with this team. So what makes Heitinga the guy that what makes him think that he can transform this team into all 2011 Barcelona or something, or 95 Ajax? That's what these people don't understand. All these people that are Heitinga in, men like Kyle and Koki, this team, Heitinga himself, and the whole coaching staff, and the people inside Ajax. That's what they don't understand. You can do all this eyes, this eye, that. But if you don't have the know-how, if you don't have no idea, and if you still have the same bunch that people been saying that they're ass, then what are you playing this style? What are you playing this for? What are you playing this way for then? I rest my case. Y'all just shooting yourself in the foot. Y'all proving everybody right. Y'all proving everybody right. Y'all not proving us wrong. What y'all saying, the way that y'all playing, and the way that y'all set up, the way that y'all been acting now for 3 years, y'all proving us right. Is that simple, man. We don't even have to put in much effort. Y'all proving us right, but just by the way that y'all going on week after week after week, fucking around. And y'all gonna prove us right again by not firing Heitinga this international break and keeping him around just to prove a point, trying to point score, man. Bro, you couldn't even score a point if you had a fucking free throw. Like, y'all, Shaquille O'Neal at the free throw line. Brick. With that being said, subscribe to the channel, like, and share the video. And I think tomorrow I'm going to make a video about Victor Gyökeres and the revisionism of Kai Havertz, though, because I've seen a lot of shit going this morning on Twitter about Harvard's revisionism and shit. Not having that. Know your role, Arsenal fans. With that being said, out.